Okay, gentlemen, you already received your instructions. I'll receive your instrucciones. Okay, if it goes right here, it's okay. If it's going to be low. Mira, aquí está bien, aquí no. Goes right here, it's okay. If it's going to be low. Aquí está bien, aquí no. I want a good, clean fight. You quiero una pelea limpia. Obey my commands at all times. Above all, protect yourselves at all times. Escúchame, cuídate, listo, ready, let's go.
What we're hoping for tonight are a couple of what our marketing geniuses at HBO would call water cooler fights. Fights that they'll be talking about around the water coolers of America on Monday.
HBO and H2O, a marriage made in heaven. Go ahead, Manny.
Both of these fights that we have tonight has the potential of becoming just that, too.
Well, there's a lot of water cooler talk among boxing fans about Cotto. And it's almost impossible to find somebody who has anything negative to say about Cotto's performances and his potential.
Right now, he's emerging as probably being maybe the best of the crop of the 140-pound right now, which is very loaded with talent, with Bojados and all of those guys there. But he seems to be the perfect fighter at this stage of the career.
The reference there to Panchito Bojado of Mexico, who along with Muhammad Abdullayev, Ricardo Williams of the United States, Cotto, they all emerged from the Olympics into this weight class. Bojado, it appears, is probably going to be fighting more at welterweight in the future. And Abdullayev and Ricardo Williams have already run afoul of personal idiosyncrasies outside the ring that help to prevent them from being at their best in it. But with Cotto, it's been nothing but onward and upward, and hardly a misstep so far.
One of the things he attributed to most of his consistent success is the fact that he says he gets in great condition for all of his fights, regardless of what the caliber of the opponent is.
He fights at a very measured pace, Emmanuel, and it helps him to dramatically limit his opponent's connects. The last couple of opponents against Cotto have landed less than 20% of their punches.
Ndou is trying to test Cotto's patience by fighting very defensively.
And every time that Cotto starts moving forward, often you watch N'dou will take a little step back, just enough to make him have to stretch and get off balance.
Hard body shot with the left hand by Ndou inside. Cotto with a couple of left hooks to the side of Ndou's head, drives him back just a little bit. Hard counter right hand by Miguel Cotto. That left hook, fired in balance almost all the time. Just a natural shot. There it is again. Very few young fighters master the mechanics of the left hook the way Miguel Cotto has.
Have you noticed a change of strategy? All of a sudden, Ndou is starting to put more pressure on him now.
Now Ndou starts to go forward and bangs Cotto with a left and a right.
Yeah, the first minute of the fight, he was back and back for the most, but now he's changed up and he's putting more pressure on Cotto now.
Now Ndou trying to counter everything Cotto throws. And there's a open-handed left hand to the side of Cotto's neck. Now Ndou misses as Cotto slips in the hard right hand. There's a big left hand to the top of Cotto's head, and he takes the punch as though he was wearing headgear.
Getting to be a left hook battle at this stage.
In Cotto's corner, where they speak Spanish, our interpreter is the great Ray Torres.
He felt your hand already. He felt your power. That's it. Nice and easy. There's no hurry. Okay, take a deep breath. Okay, nice and easy.
Every time he looks like he's set, put out a left jab and move. Set yourself up off that left jab. Every time he looks set, jab and move. Don't stand there and let him throw at you.
That was a good round, okay?
Beautiful round.
Keep your hands up, don't get careless. Okay, good.
Doing well, buddy. Beautiful.
Big breath.
CompuBox numbers in round one. Cotto 11 out of 52 as he started in a measured pace once again, and Ndou 5 out of 33 according to CompuBox count. You heard Emmanuel mention it's become a left hook battle toward the end of the first round. Once again, there they trade left hooks, and Cotto's is the one that lands.
Cotto's is more accurate. There's a little bit more wider gap in Ndou's, but you never can tell what can happen once one of them land. But at this stage right now, Ndou is becoming a little more aggressive now with a little tight defense.
As virtually all veteran fighters will say in preparation for fighting a prospect like Cotto, Lovemore N'dou was quite outspoken the last few days, saying he's not in my league. He doesn't have my experience. I think he's going to be a great fighter someday, but of course, I'll knock him out.
Well, we know the Ndou is in good shape because he just fought last month.
Well, he's had 3 fights.
Yeah, which is very good.
Since February, which is awfully good and unusual in this day and age.
Stop. Let him up.
Cotto keeps going hard down to the body with the left hook, and N'dou continues to fire looping left hooks over the top in return. The shorter, harder punches belong to Cotto.
Yeah, and he seems to be a little bit more stabilized, but the thing, N'dou is still unpredictable. He throws a wide hook, then the next time he throws uppercut, he throws a hook to the body. Cotto seems to be very patient, though, just taking his time.
N'dou is just unorthodox enough to be different from what Cotto's been looking at in his last few fights.
Yeah, but I think he's going to challenge Cotto, though, because his mentality is that of a winner.
No.
Body shot by N'dou. Cotto's facial expression hasn't changed a bit since the beginning of the fight.
No.
Takes punches pretty well. There's a perfect 1-2-3, and while the first 2 punches didn't land solidly, the third one, the left hook, landed flush on the target. N'dou sticking his jab.
Cotto is now trying to make N'dou commit himself, where before it was N'dou trying to make Cotto commit himself.
Yeah, everything has been reversed.
No.
But at this stage right now, I think Cotto realizes he's in for a tough fight, though.
Good trade to end the round. Cotto landing a right-hand shot up and under.
Again, keep breathing. Deep breaths. He's trying to butt you. So, all right, so feint him and then throw the uppercut. Okay, he takes all the feints. Feint him. If you get inside, feint him and then a jab.
That's the idea, mate. Every time he tries to back you up, just jab and move. That's beautiful.
Every now and then when you stand in front, he wants to do underneath and over the top. Okay.
Nice little uppercut in here that caught Cotto by surprise, the only one that N'dou has thrown. They seem quite happy with N'dou's performance in his corner.
I would be quite happy if I was with him, too, because at this stage right now, it looks like, provided he doesn't get caught with one big punch, it looks like it's going to be a rough night for Cotto the way it's going.
Why do you say that?
First of all, I just like his mentality. You know, when we interviewed him, he has a mentality of a winner. He has strong self-esteem, which I think is very important for a fighter to have, particularly going against a prospect. But he seems to be balanced out in his boxing. He jabs good, and he's willing to stand and trade.
Like Cotto, N'dou has very strong legs. Both fighters acknowledging power comes from the base. Cotto digging that left hook to the body, partially blocked by the elbow.
Cotto is definitely the puncher between the two.
N'dou landed that left hook to the side of Cotto's face. Cotto returning fire. Interesting tactical shift for Cotto to deal with here. In most of his recent fights, he's wound up stalking his opponents from the second or third round on. Tonight he might have an opportunity to let Ndou come to him and use his counterpunching skills.
Ndou's going to be coming to him, and if the fight goes into the late rounds, Ndou's going to put a lot of pressure on him. May not be as graceful, but he's going to do what he has to do to put a lot of pressure in the late rounds.
Think that'll be uncomfortable for Cotto, or do you think it'll play into his hands because of his faster hand speed?
I don't know. I think Ndou is a much stronger opponent than he's ever fought. Physically, I think, mentally also. And as the fight goes on, he's going to apply more and more pressure on him physically and mentally.
You here see the second sequence in a row in which Ndou pressures Cotto against the ropes. This time, Cotto deciding to return fire, but previous to that, he just moved away. Now Ndou lands a hard right hand to Cotto's chin, and Cotto decides he wants to answer back. Cotto, a disciplined body puncher. And there's another uppercut by Ndou.
This is good stuff here from a young
developing prospect.
Well, he's more than a developing prospect. I think he's a young, experienced pro against an old pro who still has some youth in him, still some ambition, still trying to make something of his career.
Well, what a spirited opposition is being provided by Lovemore N'dou, who's not afraid to trade with Cotto, even though every time they do trade, it appears that Miguel's the harder puncher.
Cotto looks much stronger.
He had to put the stool up.
That's beautiful. Okay, hang on 1 second.
Listen, Lovemore, listen to him.
That's it, I've got it, mate.
He's going to come out fast this round. Oh, no. All right. Grave, pants, please.
There, mate.
Grab his pants.
Yep.
He's going to come out fast this round, okay? So I want you to box.
Jab first.
All right? Don't let him get set. You've got to flick that jab out.
Every time he's set.
The body shots are working good.
Okay.
Let's get some water on his head.
Emmanuel, between rounds, trainer Ray Alexander and the other cornerman in Lovemore N'dou's corner allowed him to blow his nose into the towel. Will that accelerate the swelling from Cotto's shots?
Yeah, that's the one thing that they tell you. Definitely, if you have any injury to your eyes or anything, you don't blow your nose because it causes it to swell up more.
Well, we'll see what happens. Harold, how do you have it through 3?
Okay, Jim, 29-28, 2 rounds to 1, Miguel Cotto. You know, Jim, in the first round, I thought he started very slow. I tell you, he just, I don't know, he was very slow. And he just picked up the pace in rounds 2 and 3. Those left hooks to the body are just vicious. You know, at the end of the round, a judge has to decide who's doing more damage. Let's face reality. In rounds 2 and 3, Cotto did more damage. 29-28, 2-1, Cotto.
Certainly hadn't taken the wind out of Ndou's sails yet, as Ndou continues to attack as though he's pretty secure about being in the fight.
A lot of those body shots that Cotto is throwing, it looks real good. For the most part, Ndou has been smothered him. He hasn't been caught with most of those shots. He can catch him on the elbows or angling his body to the point where he can't get right there, where he doesn't get hit clean.
Doesn't it wear you down over the long haul, even if you're catching those shots on the elbows and the arms?
Especially when the guy that's fighting this win as much as he weighs, and even just a pound and block it on the elbow still wears you down.
Maybe the question that Ndou wants to ask of Cotto is whether he can fight at this pace for 10, 11, 12 rounds, which he really hasn't been asked before.
That's right, and Ndou had a very good fast-paced fight with Sean Mitchell, so he knows he can do that.
This fight is scheduled for 12 rounds. Cotto has been into the 11th against Cesar Bazan a little more than a year ago, but that's the longest distance he's ever gone.
Still for say, let's go.
This is one of the things that body punches do. Increasingly, Lovemore N'dou is throwing one punch at a time instead of throwing combinations.
Yeah, right now at this stage, right, most of the power punches are coming from Cotto. He's putting them together. He hasn't been able to penetrate, find that one good clean punch yet to the body, out to the head. But if he gets to keep punching just the numbers game, sooner or later he's going to have to start connecting. And his stamina looks tremendous. He's not even breathing.
Who's not breathing?
Cotto.
I hope he's breathing a little bit.
Oh, he caught Ndou flush with that straight left hand through the guard. Ndou comes back with a big right hand upstairs. Cotto goes back to the body. Big right hand by Ndou. Cotto takes it well and starts to fire away with the left hook again. 5 straight punches by Cotto. Make it 6. 7. Now Ndou finally fires a looping right hand. Cotto blocks the left to the body, comes back with a right and a left of his own, fires another 4-punch combination. All right. Tremendous action in the last minute of the round.
Good round for Cotto.
So you saw Miguel Cotto stepping up the intensity. Here's one of the most intense fighters anywhere in boxing, Manny Pacquiao, warming up the power punches to try to strafe Juan Manuel Marquez the way he obliterated Marco Antonio Barrera.
In the Philippines, he's a combination of Bruce Lee and Peter Pan. The media covers him like he's Princess Di.
And he loves it.
Got a smile on his face all day long, every day. CompuBox numbers through 4 on power punches. Ndou, 27 out of 80, 34%. That's better than anybody has done against Cotto before. Cotto, 45 out of 169, so he's more than doubled Ndou in the number of power punches thrown. Partially, that's because of what I told you in the last round. Cotto fires in combination. Ndou, more frequently, 1 punch at a time.
I have the sense that Ndou's power punches are more armed punches.
Yeah, he's not as compact
than Cotto's is.
Cotto's are definitely much more powerful puncher, precision and power. Whereas Ndou's is more with the arm.
Yeah, eye-catching right hand to the side of the head by Ndou.
Well, if Cotto can comes through this with a victory, he will have proven himself ready to take on the best fighters in the division. But this is a long way to go.
Cotto and Floyd Mayweather Jr. are both promoted by Bob Arum and Top Rank. It is the dream of Top Rank executives that Cotto and Mayweather simply go through the 140-pound division together until there's nobody left but them, and they fight each other.
That would be a great fight.
Might be coming sooner rather than later.
The way Cotto restarts himself, moves, shows that he's a multi-dimensional, has unusual poise for a young fighter in the ring. Good footwork.
Give him up, give him up. Are you okay? You okay? Okay.
Ndou is now concentrating on his most effective punch, which has been his left jab. And in fact, that's his only power punch from what I can see for the most part. There's more power in his jab than he does his right hand or left hook.
Because he wings those shots so wide that they lose power on their way to the target.
Yes, and the jab he shoots straight.
It's hard to keep any weight behind a punch when you throw it wide of your body and let it loop.
Ndou is now trying to bait, trap, or set a trap for Cotto to throw the right hand, tucking his chin under his left
at this stage,
shoulder.
this style has been effective. It's the most effective style that he's used to fight. By shooting that little stiff
and
up.
He tried 3 or 4 different things.
Yeah, his up jab from an angle that he's shooting is very effective, and it seems to be bothering Cotto right now.
Got in a good hard left to the body, and Cotto looked at referee Tony Weeks as if to say that one was low, and Weeks agreed.
No, stop.
Well, it's the sign of an experienced fighter and a versatile fighter that he can find 2 or 3 different ways to try to deal with an opponent.
And he's having success this round so far.
Ndou has some of the creativity of a fighter named Howard Eastman, whom we've seen at 154 and 160. Like Ndou, Eastman tends to throw arm punches, but like Ndou, he throws them from creative angles and quickly.
Feel all right? No problems?
That's better.
That's better.
Mate, you've got no idea how better it looks when you jab and move.
You've got to jab and move, mate. You can't stand in front of this way. I don't want you standing there.
Every time.
It's stupid. You don't have to.
Stick that jab, aim for his chest. Don't try to hit him in the face. Aim for his
He's
chest.
ducking down.
He'll duck into it.
Listen, he's getting frustrated, mate. He really is. He's starting to push.
That right hand to the ribs, that hurt. That hurt him.
Respira duro.
Deep breath.
Okay.
Here's the overhand right that did catch Cotto pretty well from Ndou.
And I thought Ndou did enough to win that last round, too, Larry.
And I thought Miguel Diaz did an interesting thing in the corner at that time. He said that shot to the body really hurt him. Instead of saying go to the body, he says that shot hurt him.
Now Cotto comes out in a southpaw stance to begin this round.
Well, that just shows that the style that Ndou used the last round has been very effective and is troubling him. And he can't get his rhythm back together now. So he's trying something himself different.
And now he steps out of the southpaw stance back into a conventional stance, so it lasted fewer than 20 seconds.
Stop.
Trying to see if all of these changes rattle a young fighter.
Well, I tell you what, that left jab is finding his target with a lot of regularity at Cotto's left eye right now.
Keep your head up.
Cotto's left eye beginning to swell, and he hasn't faced that kind of difficulty in any fight before.
Oh, come on, stop. Come on, keep your head up now. Come on.
If Ndou could shorten up his right hand the way he's shortening up his jab, he would be okay.
Ndou almost went down. Managed to stay upright somehow. He landed a couple good shots, but then Cotto saw the vulnerability and has gone after the body and the head. Two good uppercuts by Ndou. Cotto comes back with an uppercut of his own. And a hard right hand across the top. And now a big left hook backs Ndou off.
This is a beautiful sequence by Cotto.
Cotto has the ideal body and short punches for getting into the pocket and working inside.
Yeah, very good, accurate puncher. A lot of power in those precision punches, too. But sooner or later, just one little gap where the guy has his hand in the wrong place at the wrong time, and he can connect. And once he catches next with a guy, it's almost over with because he punches that good.
Cotto not active right now as Ndou gets off 5 shots in a row and lands a left.
Ndou just doesn't have the punching power.
Ndou bunching up into a peekaboo defense. Cotto blocks his shot with the glove. Lead right hand. Corner tried to convince Ndou between rounds that Cotto's getting frustrated. Sometimes it's hard to tell if Cotto's in a fight or a sparring session. He looks so relaxed in there. Cotto's totally aware this is going to be a long fight.
Yeah, but he seems to be settling in and fighting a very intelligent fight, though.
Close your eyes so we can put some water there.
Respira profundo.
Okay, deep breath.
Bien profundo.
Real deep.
Ya sintió tus manos.
Now he felt your hands. Now he felt your power. He's very vulnerable. You're gonna. It's gonna be a matter of minutes.
On the back of his neck a little bit too, Stitch.
He's trying to take your legs away from you by working your body. Don't let him work your body. Catch, move.
When he's
Bang,
walking in
bang,
to punch
right
the
hand.
body, stick your jab out. Put him offset.
Drop your jab
Drop
down
your
on his
jab lower
chest.
to the chest, mate. That's all you got to do.
Right hands after,
Get the
right?
jab going again. That's what set him up.
Go back.
Get his rhythm.
There you saw early in the fight a left hook that buckled Ndou, but there was also a little bit of a water spot that at that point in the canvas, and it may have contributed to a slight slip. Now Cotto turns southpaw.
Second time in the fight. He did it at the beginning of the last round also. Harold, how do you have it through 6 as Cotto lands a big left hand?
Okay, Jim, 59-55, 5 rounds to 1, Miguel Cotto. Jim, he's so much stronger. He's winning it on punching power. Clean, effective punching. I mean, when he lands a shot, it does an awful lot more damage than when Ndou lands a shot.
Emmanuel, he's a pretty good southpaw fighter.
Yeah, he's doing what he has to do, but this is coming from the amateur days. I think a lot of the kids fought in the amateurs about fighting left-handed and right-handed. But the difference is right now when Cotto lands, even if Ndou blocks the punches, the impact of his power still moves Ndou's body around. You can see that it's tiring him out just blocking those punches coming from Cotto.
Oh, there's a jolting left hook from Cotto, right through the guard.
I sense that Cotto is...
And out of his own southpaw stance, Ndou lands a hard left hand.
Yeah, I sense that Ndou is a little bit frustrated. He doesn't know what to do with this young guy in front of him to make an impression on him, but he keeps trying.
But I don't think the southpaw stance is as great an idea for him as it was for Cotto.
No, that's right. Every city's changing these styles, meaning everybody's trying to find something that can give them that decidedly comfortable edge. Nobody's really gotten the edge in this fight still the way that they would like to have it. Even though Cotto's winning, but he's not landing any clean, decisive punches directly on the chin or clear to the body, so he's still searching himself also.
In his last fight, Cotto simply annihilated Victoriano Sosa here in Las Vegas, Feb 27. Sosa is a fighter who went the distance with Floyd Mayweather Jr. in Fresno last year and who had a spirited fight with Paul Spadafora in Pittsburgh, in which he had Spadafora down and almost out early in the fight. Cotto handled that fighter with no problem. Ndou's given him much more trouble.
That may have been the
right hand.
cleanest punch of the whole fight, I think, was that straight left hand that he caught Cotto with there at that time.
Fighting out of the southpaw stance again.
Yeah, but it was a very effective punch, directly on the chin.
Sometimes when fighters change stances and change strategies, it's an admission of weakness that they couldn't get the other guy.
They're trying to find something that will work.
But both of these guys have been effective from different stances in this fight.
What a firefight. What an entertaining battle. For the still arriving crowd here in the MGM Grand Garden Arena. And there's a look at Juan Manuel Marquez. That's part of what they're still arriving for. Marquez, who will be defending 2 featherweight title belts against Filipino punching sensation Manny Pacquiao. Pacquiao is the supreme attacker in the featherweight division. Marquez right now is its smoothest and most effective counter puncher. Want to see a great fight? Stick with us. This could be memorable stuff. Beautiful night in Las Vegas. Not too overwhelmingly hot. Maybe no more than 100 or so today.
Clean left hand from Cotto here. One of his best punches.
I think that round was the first round that both guys started to land in clean punches.
Now there's swelling around Miguel Cotto's left eye. The looping right hands thrown by Lovemore N'dou.
Ndou has sparred hundreds of rounds with Costa Tszyu, the recognized champion of this division. So he's been in with some big firepower.
Cotto opened this round with a vicious straight right hand and a solid left hook. Now he has Ndou on the defensive as the round progresses. Ndou still in that southpaw stance in which he fought the last minute and a half or so of the preceding round. Having landed that one huge left hand, Ndou seems to think that this is the way to go. He throws punches straighter from the southpaw stance.
Yes. He doesn't, at least the way he clubs with the right hand when he's in his right hand position. He's punching more accurate, but still just the power difference and the strength is such a big factor in this fight.
Well, and there's a big differential in power when Ndou's in his unnatural southpaw stance and Cotto is in his natural conventional stance.
And Cotto has landed so many more hard body punches in this fight.
Another huge left hook to the body by Cotto. Ndou just trying to get away.
My guess
Chopping
is
right hand went through the middle of the guard.
My guess is those body punches have reduced Ndou now to fighting in spurts.
That's right. Even though they haven't been clean, they still have taken their effect.
Uppercut lands for Cotto. Straight right hand backs Ndou up. Ndou moves back to the ropes as Cotto fires a 1-2.
In case you were wondering, Ndou has never been stopped, and you can see why.
Got a big beard. Ndou said that he can't expect to win a decision here. He wouldn't get any better treatment here, he thinks, than he did in Atlantic City against Sharmba Mitchell, where he believes that he should have won the fight and lost by unanimous decision. So Ndou believes that, by and large, he would have to knock Cotto out to win the fight, and that was what he was expecting to do.
Come on, keep him up.
And that's very difficult, especially being that he's not a power puncher for the most part.
He's a power trier, I'll tell you that. There's not a moment of give up in Lovemore N'dou.
No, this is a tough fight for Cotto also, too, and I'm quite sure he's aware of it now.
Is everything okay?
Yeah, it's all good.
It's good.
Now listen,
A few more punches up the centre,
you've got to
mate,
go up the middle
and then move.
and go side on after that.
Just
Okay?
slide out.
Don't go down backwards. You've got to-
All right, listen, dry up his gloves. They're all wet. You did good by pushing him back. Push him back and hit him in the body. Little by little, we're gaining on him.
Ndou early in the fight started throwing uppercuts. Seems to have given Cotto a good idea of how to retaliate. Well, Ndou seems to realize now that he has to become the hunter.
Yes, and I think that's what he's trying to do now. Probably thinking his experience and Cotto's inexperience in these long fights like this is going to be to his advantage. Seems like he comes out now to put more pressure on Cotto.
Cotto has used his feet more these last couple of rounds than probably in any previous fight.
Well, Ndou's got his confidence up now, I think, based on landing that punch and the pressure that he's putting on Cotto. Cotto's backing away now, retreating.
Ndou landed a right hand, as you heard, that got the crowd into it. And a left hand lands flush for Ndou. Cotto hadn't done much in this round.
Cotto's going to have to do something to get some respect because the faster he moves, the faster he's going to make him move.
There's an initial burst of respect. Big right hand by Ndou. Flush on the cheek. And that one he wound up and fired from left field. Trying to follow up now. Cotto's left eye is swelling badly. Ndou missing the top of Cotto's head.
If he can throw a straight right hand, Cotto will be in big trouble. But all he's doing is really chopping with the right hand for the most part.
Is there danger for Cotto of tiring himself out using all this footwork to stay away?
Yeah, he's moving pretty fast.
A lot of the steam seems to have gone out of Cotto's punches in this round. Ndou has landed the harder shots here in the night. That left hook, Cotto's best shot of the round. And he continues to use lateral movement to slow down Ndou's attack. Ndou fires one more big right hand to punctuate the round. It was partially blocked. Each Friday night, catch On the Record with Bob Costas. The week's show includes a discussion with Leslie Nielsen and Peter Graves about the comedy classic Airplane, and an interview with a real Hollywood legend, Dennis Hopper.
Okay. We need to put pressure on this guy. Come on, let's go. How many more rounds?
There's a looping right hand that was effective in that round by Ndou. Was it Cotto asking how many more rounds in that corner?
It was somebody else in the corner. Cotto didn't say a word, but someone else in the corner wanted to know how many more rounds.
Maybe
the answer is 3. The answer is 3, and I think what you're suggesting, Larry, is that maybe there's a concern about fatigue at this moment.
Well, if they're starting to talk about rounds, yes.
Well, because Ndou had a very good last round, even though I thought Cotto landed some beautiful combinations while he was boxing. But the momentum is going towards Ndou at this stage, and that's probably what they're concerned about.
Now, let me correct myself, as our interpreter, Ray Torres, reports from Cotto's corner that it was, in fact, Cotto who asked how many more rounds were left in the fight. Cotto becoming the aggressor again now here in round 10, as Ndou may be a little bit tired from having fired hard punches in the 9th round. It was the first round in the fight in which he outlanded Cotto.
Well, he's going to have to be aggressive. I think backing away is not working effective for him because Ndou's putting pressure on him, and it seems like psychologically it looks like he's giving up by backing away like that. And that can impress the judges. You know, here in Las Vegas, they like guys to finish up strong. And we saw what happened with Trinidad and De La Hoya the first fight.
It's a mark of how idiosyncratic boxing scoring can be, of course, that one of the 3 judges in De La Hoya Trinidad gave the 12th round to Oscar De La Hoya. How funny is that?
Probably just as absurd as the way the decision was, too, with a lot of people.
Yes. Hard right hand by Cotto and the left hand. Ndou has slowed down in the 10th round. Another fluid combination by Cotto. Almost switched to a southpaw stance. Decided against it. Charging right hand by Ndou. Side of Cotto's head. Big left hand by Cotto as he caught Ndou clean coming out of the exchange.
Cotto took a big sweeping right hand, and Ndou, and Cotto made him pay for it.
Uppercut lands for Ndou. Cotto shakes it off. Crowd pleasing to say the least. Ndou pressuring Cotto one more time as Miguel seems to have run out of steam after having fired those combinations against the ropes. Still to come, Manny Pacquiao will be going for 126-pound supremacy. 5 months ago, he knocked out Marco Antonio Barrera. So now he goes against another of the 3 great Mexican featherweights of the last 10 years, Juan Manuel Marquez. And if he can beat Marquez, then the plan is for him to go out next and fight Eric Morales. It is about as audacious a fight plan for a young prospect or for a new champion as we've seen in a long time.
6 minutes.
Back live in the ring. 2 rounds to go between Lovemore Ndou and Miguel Cotto.
On my scorecard,
that's all you're doing wrong.
Ndou needs to stop Cotto
Come behind the
to
jab.
win the fight.
And I don't think that's going to happen.
CompuBox numbers on power punches through 10. Ndou 77 out of 222, 35%. That's by far the best anybody's done against Cotto. But Cotto's still a little bit more prolific. 119 out of 407. Harold, how do you have it through 10?
Okay, Jim. 97-93, 7 rounds to 3, Miguel Cotto. Jim, I got to tell you something. If you're a fatigued fighter, you don't run away. I mean, Miguel Cotto absolutely ran away and lost the 9th round. I mean, without question, very, very odd round. But be as it may, he came back, showed he's the stronger fighter in round 10. He's got a commanding 4-point lead.
And a hard right hand that lands flush on Ndou. How tough is Lovemore N'dou? He's taken a good deal of hard artillery from Miguel Cotto and just keeps coming.
And we got to give Miguel credit too, because I've been impressed with his toughness tonight too, because he's never got completely unraveled. And he's been hit with some good punches for a young fighter.
No, stop. Oh, come on, stay off his head, all right, come on.
He gets very, very lucky that Ndou cannot punch with a straight right hand.
Who says he can't throw a straight right hand, Emmanuel?
He must have heard me.
If Cotto comes out of this with a victory, it will be a fight that will stand him in good stead for a long time, knowing that some nights you go in there, you do your best, you hit the other guy a lot, and the other guy keeps coming at you. You have to find other things to do.
In other words, you say in this fight he will grow and develop from.
Absolutely. This is if this is the last fight of the first part of his career or the first fight of the next part, whatever it is, it would be an important test for him.
Good left hand for Ndou. Cotto is in another round of semi-retreat. Not a lot of steam on those Cotto punches, so Ndou just keeps pressing forward.
He presses forward, but Cotto is still getting off the more effective punches and getting in and out. But even though he's backing up, he's winning the fight on clean punches.
This is a boxing round for Cotto. He's used his feet more in the past 2 or 3 rounds than at any previous time in his career.
Ndou gets right there, but he can't pull the trigger when he gets in position.
20th professional fight for Miguel Cotto. Comes in at 19-0 with 16 knockouts. Most celebrated young prospect in the sport at this moment. Getting a battle from Lovemore N'dou.
Okay, we're doing fine. Everything is cool.
Es el último, hay que ganar el round. Hay que ganar el round.
Oh, get a bit of a spell. No more spells.
Last ring, Lovemore.
3 minutes. Flat shot. Right, bitch.
Come back with that left uppercut.
He's going to come out strong.
Come back with that left uppercut, left hook, mate. You're getting with it every time. That's after right hand.
He's going to come out strong. You've got to meet him halfway, Lovemore.
You're killing him.
We need to win this round. Let's try those gloves. Okay, deep breath and it's it. You gotta watch it.
Warrior more. You're going to be the warrior.
CompuBox numbers on power punches in the 11th showed it to be a virtually even round Cotto 14 out of 35 by CompuBox count. Ndou 12 out of 39. You heard Ndou's corner saying Cotto will come out strong in the 12th. Ndou decides he wants to be the one who's coming out strong. He's the aggressor to begin the round. Big right hand by Lovemore N'dou. And another right hand to the top of the head. Cotto takes them both very well. Comes back with his own shots.
Stop, stop. Let him up, let him up.
If Ndou were able to put as much body behind his punches as Cotto does behind his, this would be an even fight.
It would be a definitely even fight. But Cotto releases his punches a little quicker. Where Ndou gets there and he normally has to get set to punch. Cotto lets his punches just get off a lot faster.
In the pocket.
Okay, okay, okay.
And Cotto backs off, telling Tony Weeks that Ndou hit him in the hips. Good left hook to the body by Ndou. Right hand to the rib cage as well. Cotto getting tested severely down the stretch. Hard right hand by Cotto. Stuns Lovemore N'dou. Now here comes Ndou again. Quick left hook by Cotto. Won the exchange. Ndou momentarily tired. Ndou's right hand didn't have a lot on it.
Well, I tell you what, when this final bell ends, Cotto will be very relieved.
And if Cotto gets the decision, I got a hunch Ndou's going to say he was robbed again.
Yeah, but no. He's fought a very good fight.
He's going to say, I taught this young man a lesson. And the only reason that he got the decision is that it's his promoter and his promoter's hometown. Fact is, it's been a good, close fight in which Miguel Cotto has had just a little bit the better of it, it would appear to us.
Especially the early rounds. You remember the last rounds, but the early rounds, even though they might not be that exciting, there's a winner and a loser. And Cotto won about, both the first half of the fight, Cotto won very big.
Well, Miguel Cotto is going to go 12 full rounds for the first time in his career, and as a mark of how tough it's been for him, moments ago he stole a look up at the scoreboard above him to see how much time was left. He makes it. A final flurry just before the bell for the Puerto Rican star. And in a moment we'll find out if he's still a star.
Well, Cotto is like a third-round draft pick that turns out to be better than the first-rounders. But time will tell if he's an all-pro.
Did you see new question marks here?
Well, I think his power is not as great as some people thought it was, even though he was in with a real tough guy, and not everybody's going to be able to stand up to him.
Lovemore N'dou has never been knocked out in 45 previous fights, so it's no accident that Lovemore N'dou makes it through here. Harold, how did you score the fight?
You know, Jim, I'm the kind of judge that I like effective aggressiveness. I never score rounds for guys that just run away. I think that Miguel Cotto blew rounds 11 and 12. I mean, he was on his bicycle. Lovemore N'dou was the effective aggressor and wrapped him with some real good shots. It became a close fight. 7 rounds to 5, 115, 113, Miguel Cotto. He had that big early lead, and Lovemore N'dou turned it on. I thought he won rounds 9, and certainly 11 and 12. He nearly chased Cotto out of the ring.
I had Cotto winning by 8 rounds to 4 comfortably.
And Cotto was, by CompuBox numbers, 28 out of 90 in the 12th round. Throwing 90 punches in the 12th round is impressive. N'dou threw 67 and landed 25, a higher connect percentage and more power punches. The judges, Carol Castellano of Massachusetts, veteran judge, and you can see that she scored the first Barrera-Morales fight for Eric Morales. That made her the minority in that fight. Dalby Shirley scored the first. All right, check it. That made it part of the majority in that fight, excuse me, because Morales did get the win. Dalby Shirley was the man who scored the fight 115-112 for Morales in that first Morales-Barrera fight. Which a lot of ringside observers thought Barrera had won, but which the judges gave to Morales. And then the third fight, Glenn Trowbridge, not as well known, with not as much title fight experience as the other two. And now let's go to Michael Buffer and find out how they scored the fight as Miguel Cotto prays in his corner.
Ladies and gentlemen, here at the MGM Grand, we go to the scorecards. Glenn Trowbridge scores it 117-111. Dalby Shirley 115-113. And Carol Castellano scores it 116-112. All for the winner by unanimous decision. Still undefeated, Miguel Cotto.